This video is just to complain about the major fail that is scrollbars in GTK3. People who know me know that I like to have a nice easy to use interface with all the elements nicely visible and ready to use, and GTK3 practically does away with that. I'll demonstrate it here in Synaptic Package Manager because I just need to install some software. We've got here a list of potential software, but it's not clear that you can scroll it because there's no scroll bar. It's only obvious that it's scrollable because part of the bottom line is half cut off. Now, if we move our mouse pointer over it, you may notice in the far right hand side of the window, which might not be all that visible on the video, what did appear was a tiny little scroll bar, and of course it's gone again now. If we move around, you can just about see it right here. That's very hard to notice. You would never notice that that's there unless you were looking for it, and for people with a big monitor it's not that noticeable, and for people with bad eyesight like myself it's again not that noticeable. Now, to use this scroll bar we have to move our mouse over it, and then it becomes a lot more visible. That one's actually quite a lot better. This expanded one is quite a lot better, it's a lot more visible. But even then it doesn't work. If I try and drag down the list, it moves, but then it just slows down. If I try and drag down, the bar doesn't really come with it. I'm moving the mouse all the way down the screen there, and it's just moving a little bit, as if I was using a scroll wheel, slowly. That's no use for such a long list. So let's try it again. You can make it work. Let's try it again. No, that's going slowly again. What if we click on the bar further up? No, it moved a little bit quickly, now it's gone slower again. Let's try at the bottom. That's got it! Now we can drag the scroll bar down and scroll all the way through the list. That took several attempts to make it actually do that. You should just be able to click on a scroll bar and drag it. I've been doing that in the 20 years or so that I've been using computers. I've just clicked on the scroll bar and dragged it down, and it has worked. Now it's working again this time, look. Yes, it seems to be working fine as you'd expect now. It just didn't work the first few times. To compare, let's just take a quick look at a typical GTK2 application. In this case it's HexChat. This is the bog standard ClearLux theme that comes with LXDE. The scroll bar is blindingly obvious. You know where it is because it's this big blue thing. It's big enough to fit the whole mouse pointer in. I can click it, I can drag it as you would expect. I can click in the scroll bar to move it like that. It has an up button at the top which I can use. It has a down button at the bottom which I can use. It works as you would expect a scroll bar to work. So why is it completely screwed up in GTK3? Now, I don't have a program on here that allows you to control the theme in GTK3, and I'm not particularly competent at editing config files to do that. In my previous Debian installation, which also had this bug, if you can call it that, I did manage to restore the original standard scroll bars. But I had to put quite a lot of different commands, and I was basically just copying and pasting bits of commands from various websites and into various config files and hoping that it worked, and eventually it did. It's not really clear whether this is intended to be an actual feature or not. If it is a feature, I honestly don't see where it comes from or what its benefit is. So if anyone has any suggestions as to how to get proper scroll bars in GTK3, I would be very pleased to hear it.